Hey there and welcome to episode 58 of Chumps to Champions, where today I will be taking on Rochdale in my first ever match in League 1. For those of you that have missed the last few episodes, yes, I managed to get promoted to League 1 from League 2 after getting promoted from the conference only the previous season. So 2 successive promotions. This season I am predicted to finish bottom of the league once again. For those of you that watched my pre-season special video a couple of days ago, you will know that I'm predicted to really struggle this season, but I've been given some money by the board to spend on players, and I have spent money. I've brought in quite a few players, which I will go through briefly, because I did actually go through in detail in the last video. I think I've made one more signing since the last video, episode 57. So since the friendly against Whittam, I think I've made one signing. So today's episode is going to be a double live con. We're going to take on Rochdale in the league away from home, and then take on West Brom, massive game against Championship West Brom in the Capital One Cup first round, which I think we crashed out of at that stage last season as well. So it'd be nice to try and pull off an upset and get through to the second round. I'm pretty pleased with the size of the squad, considering where it was at the start of episode 57, the pre-season video. It's grown. I've made plenty of transfers. Those of you that watched that video will know I had over $500,000 to spend because of my board being generous, simply because I'd done well in League 2 and we hadn't spent a single penny in 6 seasons in regards to transfer fees. So I've been able to sign some youngsters. LD, I will be calling him, is probably one for the future, or hopefully one for the future if he can get better. Same with Jim Stevenson. The only signing I have made since the last video is Cameron Stewart. Yes, the Cameron Stewart, the ex-Man United and Hull guy who went to Ipswich, and then to Chester, where he spent a couple of years playing in League 2 and did reasonably well. So I've decided it's time for him to step up to League 1. I really hope he can. He's injured, unfortunately, today, so won't be playing. Tom Youngs will be a backup striker. Spoke about him in the last episode. Isn't really good enough to be my main man, but if need be, he can come into the team and is a better option than Ryan Bird and Capitani, who have gone, by the way. You may have noticed Capitani, it's sad to see him go because he had some great years, and Ryan Bird was great in the conference. Nick Hoey is the player that can play anywhere down the spine of the team, and I tweeted him out and everyone said play him in midfield. That is the sensible thing to do, because he's too short to be a centre-back. He doesn't have the attributes to be a striker. So central midfield, we'll see how he does. He's 20 years old already, so I don't know how much more he's going to develop. But he has come from Manchester City. Just shut up my phone there. Okay, so yeah, Nick Hoey. I'm hoping he can turn into a good player, but it remains to be seen. Louis Holt, Louis Molt, or Lewis Molt, or however you want to call him. He's basically going to be a backup, I think, for Cameron Stewart on the right-hand side. Him and JB. He's quite versatile, though, so he can play up front if need be. Harry Hickford, he's returned. The guy from the first season in charge of Chumps City has returned and will be my main centre-back alongside O'Houge on loan from Liverpool. Back on loan from Liverpool. Hasn't developed as much as maybe you would have thought, considering he rejected me in the second season to play in the conference, and hasn't really gone on to great things, but he's good enough for League 1 level anyway. Backup keeper Sean Boyd, coming on a free from Stoke, isn't really very good at all, but he literally is just a backup for a 1-year contract. Backup for Lovelock. If I can find a really good keeper, then I will, because Lovelock is good, but he's dropped off in terms of current ability. But I don't know if that's as a result of the rest of the team improving, because I still love him. He makes some cracking saves, I'm sure most of you would agree. Nick Riley, already talked about him, will be my main striker. He's 20 years old, from Man United, on a free. They didn't want him anymore, hoping he can turn into a pretty good striker for me, really. Dennis Main, also on a free. Young centre-back. I've got a really young squad looking at it, actually. Perhaps could do with another couple of players with experience, but I think we got by with young players before, especially in League 2. So, I think the youth can do it for me. Jamal Maxwell is an interesting one, on loan from Fulham. Unfortunately injured for this match, and had a very good pre-season, scoring a couple of great goals. Hoping he can do it for me. He's got potential to be a good player, but obviously he's only on loan from Fulham, and he's a good all-rounder, really. He has good attributes across the board. And lastly, Jerry Welbeck. He's only on loan for 3 months. In fact, I think his contract runs out here at the end of August, and he's injured for a week. So I don't know how much of him we're actually going to see. If he's good enough, then I'll keep him for the rest of the season and try and extend the loan deal. But he didn't really do anything in pre-season. 4 starts, 4 sub appearances, a couple of assists, not bad, 6.71 average rating, nothing spectacular, so we'll have to see. I always find these sort of statistics quite interesting when you compare your team against other teams. For example, looking at the comparison thing, I love looking at this. Let's start with general. We've got a very young team, but we don't have the youngest team. Scunthorpe actually have the youngest team. Yeovil have the oldest. Average height, we've actually got the joint lowest, 178 centimetres. Average weight is quite low. Everything else, as you'd expect, is quite low because we're a newcomer to League One. But it's a real mix for the actual attributes. We're bottom for decisions and work rate, quite low on most things. Quite high on passing though, with the 9th best passing team. Goalkeeper wise, we're bottom on one-on-ones. This might be because of my backup keeper. Lovelock, I think, would be on his own would be a bit higher. He's handling 7th though, so that's quite strong actually. And command of areas 4th. It's not bad at all. Defence wise, we're quite bad at positioning and pace and acceleration, but not bad at heading, jumping reach and strength. Midfield, good passing. We're 6th in midfield for passing and 6th for stamina, 7th for teamwork, but bottom for vision, technique and decision. So our midfield lacking a bit in those areas. Strike force, 1st for finishing, 13.4. That is the highest average finishing rating in the league. That surprises me. But we're bottom for jumping reach, so we're obviously not going to be playing it in the air, especially with 22nd on heading as well. The long shot's 19th. Everything else is quite low. Acceleration's good, 2nd. Pace though, 11th. Curious. So let's get on with our first game in League One. I've already gone through the paraphernalia of picking the team and tactics. So this is the team I've gone with. Lovelock in goal. Symington at right back because, unfortunately, where is he? Clausen suspended. Hickford and O'Houge at centre back. Really hoping they can forge a partnership. Margleton at left back. Koulibaly in central midfield alongside Nagy on loan from NK Dons again. And Reese in central midfield. Basically because Maxwell's injured, he can't play. I've gone with JB on the right wing rather than Malt because he's a bit pacier, I think. Cameron Stewart is injured, like I said. Faulkner on the left, back on loan. For those of you that didn't watch the last video, you won't know that I have re-signed some players on loan. Unfortunately, couldn't get Paul Mitchell, so that's why Riley is my best striker. But I am still hopeful I can find someone better. But Riley, I think, will do because he had a good pre-season. But as I always say, time will tell. Reasonably happy with today's bench. I've gone with Nick Hoey on the bench and Dennis Main, the centre-back. Joe Allen's still on the bench, despite the fact he's I mean, what's happened to him? It makes me sad, but I'm going to stick it out with him. I've given him so much game time and he just isn't improving. It's quite unfortunate, really. He will become a player not good enough for the team, and maybe the likes of Matthias Kate and Sam Wright are actually better than him currently. But the same's happened to Kate. Don't know what's happened to him. I'm not sure what's happened to Sam Wright. Don't think he's really done anything for the last 2 years. Nothing's improved, unfortunately. So perhaps I do need another midfielder. I'll have a think. Anyway, let's get on with this game. But maybe another central midfielder would be useful. Like a really top quality central midfielder. Tempted to give number 6 to Nick Hoey. And really just try and push him hard. But maybe not. I'll give him number 20. Nah, let's go for it. Nick Hoey's going to be number 6. If he can't do it this year, then he'll be released because he's only got a 1-year contract, I think. Wish me luck for this season, guys. Please hit that like button if you're still enjoying the series. There's still potentially another 2 months of this to go if FM16 doesn't come out for a while. I'm sort of, because of the lack of news, and they keep saying, we're not going to say any new news this week. Miles Jacobson on Twitter, the guy behind Sports Interactive, the makers of the game, keep saying there's going to be no news this week. And usually there's news by now about the game in August, and it's September now, so I don't know what's going on there. Generally it's released at the end of October, isn't it? or the beta's released at the end of October, and the full version's a couple of weeks later in November. But what's going on? Is it going to be a later release this year? In a way, that's good for my Chumpswood team, but I really want the game. I've got so many great ideas on the cards, or I think are great ideas anyway. Uh-oh, we're 1-0 down already in League One after not even 10 minutes. They've got a goal from a long throw. It caused carnage in our area. Gone with a counter tactic, which worked well in the last game of last season, I do believe. And, yeah, I did use that, didn't I? Yeah. But unfortunately, we've gone 1-0 down, so I might have to go attacking, and the set pieces are causing us problems. Here they go. Once again, we've not managed to clear it properly, and it's 2. That guy again, Vetakili, with his second goal. This is not good. I'm going to go attacking. We're going to push up and go for it, because 13 minutes in, we're 2-0 down, and bottom of the table we're expected to be. Oh dear. Maybe my defence isn't as solid as I thought. I thought Hickford and O'Houge at centre-back would be good. Muggleton on the left. Symington's not my first choice. Right back, Clausen will be. But he's suspended today. O'Houge, that is the way to defend. Just smash it clear. But now they're back on the attack. Is this going to be a third goal? It is. Nathan Dyer. I tried to sign him actually on a free, but he wasn't having any of it. And we are getting murdered in this first League One game of the season. Completely murdered. I might have to have a rethink. Pre-season was pretty solid, I thought. But this isn't working well at all. I'm going to go back to my old. Let's try and pass them to death. Yeah. Wishful thinking, I think, Paul. We've done absolutely nothing in this first half, and it's 4. Ah dear. Maybe I was a bit too positive going into this season. I know I'm predicted to finish bottom, but I just thought last season I'm predicted to finish bottom, and it's all gone horribly wrong. Oh dear, I'm lost for words. 4-0 down at half time. I was so positive. I was just happily floating along. Maybe this will help. Koulibaly's dropping into defensive midfield. I can't talk. Possibly that will work. Everyone's been awful. They really have. Maybe Nick Hoey in defensive midfield for Koulibaly. Let's give him a go. He can't do any worse, can he? He can't really play there, actually. He's more of an actual central midfielder. Maybe I'll bring him on for Ian Reese and give him a go. Nick Coey is coming on for Reese. I'm really not sure what to do here. I think we're just going to have to go for that. We won't go as high tempo. We'll just try and calm it down. But that was an atrocious first half. And we're 4-0 down. Come on, guys. Muggleton on the ball. O'Houge given away. Poorly given away. Hickford beaten for pace. And Lovelock with the one-on-one save, which apparently we're weak at, but he's managed to save it. In behind too easily. Malt's going to come on for JB. Nick Riley's knackered. He's going to come off for young Julian LD, as we call him. He's going to come on, and he's going to play as an advanced forward with the pace. I think he played in the under-21 game not long ago, which is why he's only on 82% condition. Here he goes. Use the pace, LD. Here goes Malt. Down the right. Can he cause problems? Into the box. Faulkner. 4-1. We've got a goal back. It's probably just a consolation, but at least it's encouraging. That is an encouraging goal. Good finish from Faulkner. Great ball from Malt. Maybe I should have played Malt from the start instead of JB. Have we made all the subs we have? So at least we're not... actually, we probably are still bottom. No, we're not. We're not bottom, even though we've got -3 goal difference. We've moved up to 22nd position with that goal. Colchester, who went up last season, are top of the table after the first game. They must be having a cracking game today. Winning 3-0 against Scunthorpe. Hickford heads away. Nagy. Oh, they've got Sordelinho on the pitch. And it's 4-1 in the end. Pretty depressing start to the season. Really. You can't really say much more than that. So these are the results. I was looking at one thing. Chesterfield were 3-0 up against Scunthorpe, who also got promoted last season. And Colchester won 5-2 against Luton, who also got promoted last season. Colchester and Chesterfield. It was us. Oh, I've actually forgotten who went up. Anyway, we failed miserably in our first game, and unfortunately we're in the relegation zone after one game. Let's just ignore that. It's not the end of the world. It just shows that I do need to improve either the tactic or the team or both. I think possibly dropping Koulibaly into defensive midfield could help the situation, I think. And we will go... We'll keep it with counter. I'll see what I can do on counter. But we will go a bit more... shorter passing, turn off those sort of things, and just see if that makes a difference. So this season's certainly going to be a bit of a mission, and we're having to play our Capital One Cup game 2 days later for some reason. Why can't we play on the Tuesday like everyone else, or the Wednesday? Why are we playing on Monday? We're a TV game. That's one good thing. We should get money from this. At home, on TV, in the Capital One Cup, but I'll have a bit of a knackered team from that league game where we got thrashed. Koulibaly's too tired to play, but then Nick Hoey is as well, to be honest. So who's going to drop into defensive midfield? Sam Wright, I think, is my best tackler, even though he's not really a defensive midfielder, but he's going to play there anyway. And Nagy's going to stay in despite being quite tired. JB's not going to play. Malt's going to come in for him. Hickford, I'm going to keep the faith with Hickford and O'Housh at the back, because they are better players than Holland and Elston, who just are not good enough for this level, but they will be my backup defenders this year. They were. Obviously, Holland was my main centre-back last year alongside O'Housh, but they're not good enough now. Maxwell's going to come onto the bench for Nick Hoey. I'm going to see if Maxwell, he's back from injury. I might bring him on in the second half and give him a run out. That would be good. Other than that, I think we'll stick with this team. That was a reality check, that first game, wasn't it? It really was, because I was quite hopeful, if I'm honest. I thought, yes, we're going to get a third successive promotion. It's going to be easy. But no, we expected to finish bottom for a reason. We don't have the quality in the team. But today, against West Brom, League Cup, anything can happen. It really, they might put out a slightly weaker team. They are a Championship team. They're not a Premier League team, remember. So, although they've got Abel Hernandez in there, obviously a quality striker, even at this stage on the game, I would say. 30 years old, pretty good. Not amazing, but he's pretty good. Craig Dawson in defence. So, it's going to be tough. We obviously are the underdogs. But let's give it our all. And hopefully pull off a shock and get a win against a strong team and get through to the second round, because the further you go in a cup, the more money you get, for example. That gives us a feel-good factor, and obviously means we've got a busier schedule, but I can give other players a run out, I guess. I've got a big enough squad to share it around. It's just whether the players on the bench and not in the team are actually good enough to come into the team. They're probably not. But I like to give youth a bit of a go. I was persistent with Joe Allen, didn't I? It's not really come to anything. But I'm going to probably try the same with Hoey and see if he can develop into anything, and some of my other young players. But here go West Brom. Early on, they're 1-0 up. Goal from Lee Littler, a regen. Disappointing, that. I think I probably could have played Clausen in this game, but I've gone with Symington again at right back, haven't I? Whoops. Anyway, never mind. He may have been suspended. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're 1-0 down. I can't do anything about it now. Symington has quite good set pieces, doesn't he? Good free kicks anyway. What are you doing, Hickford? Oh, good tackle that time though. But here they go again. Abel Hernandez. And it's 2. What? I'm not sure what Lovelock was doing there. We are getting mullered. I don't know what to do. Go attacking. Try and attack fire with fire by going attacking. Go more direct possibly. I don't know. We've just struggled at the start of games. Or, to be fair, it's half an hour in now. It's not really the start of a game. But it looks like we're going to be on the end of 2 defeats at the start of this season, I'm afraid, guys. But please hit that like anyway, like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, maybe about my signings or players or tactic or whatever. Obviously, this tactic worked very well in last season to get me promoted. You can't argue with that. But I have mixed it up a bit over time. I've adapted it as we've gone along, and I've changed it to counter. But it's not working, and now maybe attacking will. So maybe I'll have to just go attacking and go for it in this division and see what we can do. Subs then. What shall I do? I think we'll keep it like this for now. Everyone's having a pretty poor game, so I can't really single out one particular player. Come on, Faulkner. Work your magic. Had a great season last season. Lots of assists. Quite a few goals. We need Nick Riley to do well. I really wish we'd got Paul Mitchell back because he was sensational last season. Faulkner. Oh, we're back in the game. O'Howes with the goal. Faulkner with the assist. And we're back into it. Right at the start of the second half as well. So we've actually got a chance of getting back into this. They've had 13 shots and that was only our 3rd shot of the game. Good finish from O'Howes. In the right place to knock in Faulkner's cross. And possibly we can get something from this if we can push forward. Malt's not doing it today. JB didn't do it last time, but I'm going to bring on JB today. Lewis Naji's pretty tired, so I'm going to bring on Maxwell, see what he can do in the last half an hour or so of this game. He looks a good player. I really like the look of him, and he scored some. If you saw my last video, he scored a couple of really good goals. Long range effort and a free kick. Oh, Lovelock's injured. Oh no, and the backup keeper I've signed is pretty atrocious. Meaning that if Lovelock's out for a long time, I will have to sign another keeper because he's not good enough. And it will probably have to be someone on loan because all the best keepers now will, or spend some money and get a good keeper, I guess. We'll see. He might not be injured for very long. Muggleton. That's a pointless throw. What the hell was the point in that? And Wright's going to get sent off. Oh, Sam Wright. I think he's got sent off before for me, and that's why I stopped playing him. Because he does that. That is just ridiculous. What is the point? I'm going to have to stick with this, to be honest, if we've got any chance of getting back into this game. But it's all gone wrong. It tends to go wrong for me in the first couple of games, and then we usually turn it around quite quickly. Anyway, you never know. We might grab an equaliser against all odds. Here goes JB. Maxwell. Over the top. That was so close. Faulkner with the open goal, but it was from a tight angle, and he couldn't quite squeeze it in. But that was a real chance for us. Our second clear-cut chance of the game. They've only had one. Obviously had more shots and more possession, or equal possession almost. Here goes Hickford over the top. Riley, use a pace. Finish, please. He does. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I'm going to stick with attacking because what's the point in going counter when it always fails for me? So let's just keep attacking and try and get a winner. We're down to 10 men. Hickford just blasts it over the top and Riley basically runs past the keeper and puts it in the back of the net from the angle. Amazing. How? How is it 2-2? I don't really want it to go extra time because my team would be completely destroyed. Although, to be fair, we have a few days to recover before the weekend. But let's just keep going attacking and try and get the winner. But, I thought that was a mistake from the defender, but they're still on the ball. This is probably going to be a goal. What a run. And it is a goal. Hernandez with the goal, his second of the game. And we're 3-2 down, so keep on attacking, I guess. Try and get the equaliser. In fact, let's just go overload and go for it now. Go route 1. Bash it up the pitch, guys. What more can you do? It doesn't matter if we lose 3-2. At least we've put in a fight, considering where we were in the game and getting a player sent off and my keeper getting injured. It's going to be a defeat, but I put up a brave performance, so I'm quite proud of them in a way. So I'm going to say, don't worry about the result. Sam Wright's fault really getting sent off. Might be best if Sam misses a few matches. Be honest there. He's not getting back into the team. Easy. So, 2 defeats to start this season. Not the perfect start, but we are scoring goals, I guess. Our defence has been weak, which I'm a little surprised by. So that needs some sorting. So I'm going to work on the tactics a little over the next few games. I'm just going to clear this now and see where we are. So I'm going to play quite a few games probably. Well, try to play a few games before the next video. We've got a tough run of games. Sheffield Wednesday, a massive team in League One, obviously. Barnsley quite strong, usually floating between Championship and League One. Also, we need to be winning those sort of games, I guess. Wolves obviously will be tough. Portsmouth, favourites to go up, will be tough. Scunthorpe, I think, predicted to struggle this season, so we need to be winning those games. So, I'm not sure when the next video will be, but it'd be around, I guess, September time. So, wish me luck for the next few games. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's obviously not gone to plan, but that's football. That's Football Manager for you. And it is going to be a tough season. I can't expect myself to get promoted, really, on the first time of asking. If you want to predict where I finish, then put it in the comment section below. Yeah, let me know where you think I'm going to finish. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon.